Hi, welcome to June 2024 bouldering. This video is going to be short again as I only went climbing once this month. I'm finding it harder to be good at climbing because I haven't really been thinking about it much, and it feels like my technique is getting a bit worse. I thought I would be going to the gym at least twice this month, but that obviously didn't happen. I also forgot to take a photo of the grading system again. The 22nd was the only day in the month where I went to the bouldering gym, like I said before. This time, I took my bike and I found out that it was actually quite easy, and I'm probably going to do that again in future climbing sessions. I almost got lost on the way there because I took a different route that was less hilly, and obviously I couldn't use my phone while riding, and I don't want to risk losing it with it inside my pocket. It was definitely a lot faster, though I do have to cross a pretty big highway, and that gets kind of scary. Enough talking about the trip there with my bike. I did a decent amount of climbing, but I don't think I did very well. The first climb I wrote about was a slab that I don't think I should have been struggling on. I think it was a pretty simple climb, but for some reason I just couldn't do the foot swaps. The clip is my 5th attempt at it, and the video was just going to show how difficult the foot swaps were, but I actually topped the problem in this attempt. It's quite a classic and simple slab, staying close to the wall stuff. On my foot swaps, whenever I try to do a foot swap, it would just be hard to do for no good reason. I struggled with getting my foot off of the hold when I put my other foot on top of it, but I think that might have been what the mistake was. I probably forgot how to do a foot swap properly, and I tried to do some foot swaps on other holds before recording this attempt, and that was just fine, and I did the exact same thing. In this clip, the foot swap I do here works, though it is quite dramatic as I kick the wall after making it. I think I was also pretty close to falling off after that. Also at the end, when I go up to match the top hold, it looks really awkward because I was sticking my butt out, and yeah, that's it. The second climb I wrote about was a pretty difficult looking climb, but apparently I topped it in my second attempt. It was a very slopey and pinchy looking climb, but it felt quite simple in the second time. Though I did find the second half pretty hard to do because I don't do pinches. I really wish I did this again and recorded it so I could see what I actually did. I've forgotten what it felt like to climb on that problem, and I have no idea if I'm going to climb on that problem again because they reset the walls quite frequently, which is actually quite annoying unless you go there a lot, which I don't, and I really can't. I did probably one of my first heel hooks in a long time on that problem. Moving on. If the previous climb looked scary, this one didn't look any better, but it does have a higher grade, so it does justify it. It's on this cave wall again, and the problem has that thing in combination with some slopey holds right in the middle. I have no idea which attempt number this clip is, but I think it's the second. I wrote about this in my journal after I'd stopped having a go at this problem. The start is quite simple, though it does feel kinda scary the first time I did it because I don't think I've been so horizontal in a good while. The first few moves were quite tame and simple because all the holds were just jugs, but I did even get to the slopers at the end of this attempt. For some reason, I thought I could do a toe hook there, but I obviously found out that was a horrible idea. I did not need to do that. I did do more attempts after this recorded attempt, and I got up to the first sloper hold. That hold is terrible, and the only way I think I could get around that is to bump my hand up to the sloper above, because I did that before, and that hold is definitely a lot better than the first sloper. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have another go at that climb because, like I said before, the walls reset very frequently. This next and final climb of the day was pretty fun, but it looked really odd and it was really hard to figure out. It's quite a juggy and dynamic looking climb. Initially, I wasn't going to dedicate time to this because it was a grade 5, but when I did my first attempt on it, I was able to stick the jump that I had to do for the first move. So I thought, if I was able to do the jump the first time, surely I could do it again. Apparently, I couldn't. And I recorded a bunch of clips of myself doing the climb to see if I could see what I was doing wrong. It doesn't make sense, but whatever. I recorded 2 clips in which I think I do 2 horrible attempts in each. I would only attempt the initial jump, and I didn't want to skip that move for some reason. So I spent a decent amount of time just doing a jump that I wasn't doing right. The first time I had a go at the jump in the video, it wasn't bad, but I touched the mat. And then all the future attempts would just get worse. And I actually didn't have a look at these clips until after I recorded all of them. It was really obvious what I was doing wrong. I don't know how I did this, but I was jumping to the side, pretty much away from the wall, and that's what made it really hard to keep myself to the wall. After recording those clips, I saw what I did wrong, and I was able to fix it immediately. The stuff after that is really weird though, and I had no idea what I was supposed to do. The jump was fun though. I did some easier climbs after that and then went home. And that's all for the 22nd. So I only went climbing once this month, with an entire month in between that one and the last session in May. I haven't really been thinking of bouldering that much because getting there is such a hassle. And there's also school where I've been focusing on another sport and I'm having a lot of fun with that. There was also this push-up challenge thing that I was doing, and I had to do an absurd amount of push-ups throughout most of the month. It was pretty good, and I might make a video on that. It feels like I'm getting quite bad at climbing. I'm not really thinking about how I climb, and I struggle on slabs, which are my favorite type of climb. I can only point my finger at Boulder Project closing because getting to the gym I go to now is a long process, and I can't go there after school like I used to with Boulder Project. Flows, climbs, and walls are also quite different to Boulder Projects, and I definitely prefer the latter. I don't like how often they reset the walls. They do that twice a week, which is crazy, so I can't really project a climb because it'll be very likely that it'll get reset the next time I go to that gym, and I can't go there every weekend. The style of the climbs definitely feel very different, but I don't know how to describe it. I'll cut the whining and talk a bit more about my own skill because I suck ass. I don't think this is a blowing things out of proportion thing because I think my shit skill level has showed through in May's video as well. I could make an effort to get a bit better at climbing, maybe do some training at home or something, but I do like making these videos and writing scripts and stuff instead of doing that. Also, back in April, I brought up these climbing magazines that I said I'd be using in art. The art pieces in question are finished, but I forgot to bring them home, and we're now in school holidays, so I don't think I'll be able to pick them up until the next term starts. They're not amazing, and the main one is actually unfinished, so I just lied, but I like them, and they're gonna stay as they are. Hopefully I should be able to show them off in July's video. And that's all for this month. It's the end of the video. Thank you to whoever you are if you made it to here. I don't know who's going to see this part. Goodbye.